Today is July 14th, 2025. We are in Irosin, Sorsogon, visiting Zoes Resort and Eco Adventure Park. This resort is great for families and travelers because inside one area, you can already visit 3 waterfalls in one trip: Kambal Falls, Hidden Falls, and Hulugan Falls. I'm here with my sister Bea and my nephew Yuan. The entrance fee to the resort is usually adults, 150 pesos, children, 100 pesos, senior citizens/PWD, 120 pesos. This fee gives access to the resort and the waterfalls. Getting around, traveler tips. Some parts of the resort are accessible by car, which is helpful for families, kids, or those who don't want to walk the entire way. We used a Suzuki Jimny, an off-road vehicle, which works well on rough roads, rocks and dirt paths, uneven terrain. Even with a car, most of the journey still requires walking. The car helps shorten the distance, but walking is still part of the experience. For safety, walking is recommended. Running is not advised because rocks can be wet and slippery. Good shoes are very important here. Kambal Falls. How to get there? We start by walking toward Kambal Falls. To reach it, we need to go down a steep staircase. There are about 160 steps going down. Going down is manageable, but keep in mind that later you will need to climb these steps back up. Why Kambal Falls is important. Kambal means twins in Filipino. The waterfall has 2 streams of water, which is why it was named this way. For many Filipino families, twins or pairs are symbols of togetherness, family, and balance. That's why Kambal Falls is often seen as a nice place to start the journey. It reminds visitors that trips are better when shared. Walking to Hidden Falls. From Kambal Falls, we walk to Hidden Falls. The distance is about 300 to 400 meters, which usually takes 10 to 15 minutes. The trail includes dirt paths, rocks, and river stones. We walk carefully and slowly. This part is suitable for kids as long as they are supervised. Hidden Falls. Why Hidden Falls is important. Hidden Falls is called hidden because you don't see it right away. In Filipino culture, places like this remind people that some beautiful things take time to find. Not everything needs to be rushed. Hidden Falls is often quieter and calmer, making it a nice spot for families who want a peaceful break during the walk.
Going to Hulugan Falls. After Hidden Falls, we found out that Hulugan Falls isn't connected directly to the Kambal Hidden Trail, so we actually had to go all the way back to Kambal Falls, climb up the stairs, and return to the main entrance where we started. That's because Hulugan Falls has a separate entrance, and to go there, a tour guide is required, since the trail passes through private land that's also a working coconut farm. From the entrance, we rode a Suzuki Jimny, which honestly worked perfectly for the rough off-road roads, while our guide rode ahead on a motorcycle. Vehicles can only go up to a certain point, though. Only the resort's tractor is allowed deeper inside the property, since coconuts are regularly harvested there. So once we reached the designated trailhead, we continued on foot. From that point, the walk to the falls usually takes around 30 to 45 minutes, depending on pace, and involves uneven ground, rocks, and shaded forest paths. Overall, the combined trip for the 3 waterfalls can take a few hours round trip, including walking, stair climbs, and short vehicle rides. The area sits at a higher elevation compared to coastal Sorsogon, which is why the air feels cooler and the terrain more rolling than flat. Most of the journey still requires walking, and just a heads up for travelers, running isn't a good idea because the rocks can be wet and slippery, so taking it slow really makes the experience safer and more enjoyable, especially if you're visiting with family or first-time hikers.
Hulugan Falls. Why Hulugan Falls is important. The word Hulugan comes from the Filipino word hulog, meaning to fall. The name reminds visitors that the waterfall is strong, the land is steep, and safety is important. In Filipino culture, powerful natural places are respected, so visitors are encouraged to stay in safe areas, follow resort rules, and watch children closely. Hulugan Falls teaches an important lesson for travelers. Nature is beautiful, but it should always be treated carefully. Ending. Today, we visited 3 waterfalls in Irosin, Sorsogon, all inside Zoes Resort. Each waterfall offered something special. Kambal Falls is about togetherness, Hidden Falls is about patience, and Hulugan Falls is about respect and safety. This trip is a good option for families, first-time travelers, or anyone who enjoys light trekking and nature. Thank you for joining us on this family-friendly adventure.